though, I think it's a fair assumption to say that the cause, if not the cause, certainly an impacting factor is likely the wind, as about 15 or so minutes ago we did get word that there was a strong wind warning in effect, calling for winds of 20 knots, gusting to 35 knots. So we will keep our eyes open to see if SpaceX does provide any additional information about their scrub call tonight. But again, because they had started fueling, they are standing down from tonight's launch attempt. They're not able to recycle this evening, and they will go for another launch attempt as early as tomorrow. That launch window opens up at 11:07 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow night. As we mentioned early on in the broadcast, though, for those of you who were not with us when we talked about the launch weather forecast, weather tonight or weather tomorrow is even less ideal than what we had heading into tonight's opportunity. It's only 35% favorable weather odds tomorrow night. Again, the cumulus cloud rule as well as the liftoff winds remain watch items for launch window tomorrow. So as blustery as things were tonight, they do not pick up in a favorable way in the 24-hour turnaround. So we'll have to wait and see when SpaceX is able to launch this mission. The knock-on effects of this, of course, is that the Avzon 3 geostationary communications satellite will also slip at least a day, now likely targeting liftoff on the 17th. There's a one point looking at a Friday launch when this Starlink was going to go earlier in the week yesterday. They are currently targeting the 16th, but likely going to be slipping now to the 17th. And perhaps later, if SpaceX is not able to launch this Starlink mission tomorrow or the day after. So unfortunately, the second launch that has been called off for SpaceX today, as we did get word earlier, as we reported, that they are standing down from the Falcon Heavy launch of the USSF 52 mission while they continue to work on things there with the vehicle. Don't have an official reason for the scrub of the Falcon 9 tonight, but very likely due to weather conditions being far from favorable. Do want to acknowledge a few folks, though, that supporting our coverage tonight. Kay Taggerty with a $5 super chat. Really appreciate that, Kay. Tumadre Khan with a $10 super chat. This coming, of course, before the launch was officially scrubbed, saying don't scrub because that pushes back the ULA test. Well, actually, Tumadre, ULA already completed their wet dress rehearsal, or at least they conducted their wet dress rehearsal test earlier today before SpaceX even started fueling the Falcon 9 rocket. So we are waiting word from United Launch Alliance on the results of that wet dress tanking test to see if they were able to go through their full procedures as they were hoping. I'll be sure to update you on our website, spaceflightnow.com, as well as on our social channels. Lee Barreto with a $5 super chat, saying, so excited, I hope this happens. Of course, that coming in before the launch scrub. But thank you, Lee. Really appreciate the support. Also, Ricardo Orozoko M with a $2 super chat. Thank you so much, Ricardo. Peppa also with a $2 super chat saying, "Woo-wee, I'm itching for a rodeo. Go and get it, Wind." Well, unfortunately, the Wind did go and get it, and we all done got. So, Agnes Amon with a $2 super chat. Thank you so much, Agnes. Also, $2 super chat from Adam Gibbs. And Adam Gibbs coming back not too long after that with a very generous $20 super chat. And looks like Adam is in the construction business. A lot of work to be done around the country, so hopefully, Adam, you're getting some good work there. Thanks for the support. And to Callistia Lee for another $10 super chat. Saying thanks to all of you at Spaceflight Now for the great coverage as always. Keeping my fingers crossed for tomorrow night, and we will too, certainly. Although the weather seems like it's possibly going to be thwarting tomorrow's opportunity as well, but we will keep you posted as we learn more. So just a quick recap of the night before we go ahead and sign off this evening. Got about to T-minus 1 minute when SpaceX called the scrub of the Falcon 9 launch for the Starlink 6-34 mission. Still awaiting official word from SpaceX as to the reasoning for the scrub call. But of course, we did have a strong wind warning with winds 20 knots gusting up to 34 knots, which are far from ideal conditions for a launch tonight. TBD on when they will try again, as the weather tomorrow looks even worse than it did today, with only a 35% odds of favorable conditions, liftoff winds, and cumulus clouds again being watch items from the meteorology perspective, the 45th Weather Squadron launch forecast. Also getting word earlier tonight of the indefinite hold on the USSF 52 mission aboard the SpaceX Falcon Heavy rocket. As previously mentioned, they are calling that off for now in order to perform additional system checkouts. The X-37B spaceplane itself, though, we're told remains healthy, and they are looking at the possibilities of when they can launch again. As with the Falcon 9, they are continuing to look at the weather outlook as well. And the last SpaceX watch item of the evening, the Cargo Dragon, currently docked to the International Space Station, also weather on the mind, as it was supposed to undock from the station and start making its way down for a splash off the coast of Florida. But again, weather being the spoiling factor, they are delaying undocking until at least this Friday. Again, that is entirely weather dependent, so we will have to wait and see what that looks like when it does splash down, or when they are able to undock it. And so with that, we're going to go ahead and wind things up for tonight. Really appreciate all of you for joining us for our live launch attempt coverage, as SpaceX not able to best the wind, unfortunately, this evening.